All right, welcome back, everyone. Nice to see you, all you sons and daughters of Beak. Today we're doing 5.3. It's going to be day 2. It's also on solving systems by elimination. Okay? And so, hopefully by the end of the day you can say, I can solve systems by elimination, no problem. I can get these mathematical standards down, no big deal, all right? So, we're looking to be at a 3 or a 4 in an I can range, right? That just means you're comfortable with it, you feel good about it, and you could explain it to someone without making many mistakes and things like that. We're going to have probably one more day of this and then probably a quiz coming up on this. So make sure if you don't get it that you're reaching out and asking a question, asking for help. All right, blank slide there. Here we go. Let's talk about this. So 5.1 we skipped. That was on graphing systems. Excuse my handwriting. For those of you that didn't have me last trimester, you'll get used to my handwriting. I just get excited and start writing. But graphing is where we're trying to graph things and we visualize, hey, where do those cross at? What is the coordinate that they cross at, right? Because that is the answer that we're looking for. That's the answer, the coordinate. Okay? 5.2 was our first real one. That was on substitution. Substitution was where I had, x equals 2y plus 5 and 5x minus 6y equals 8. Something like that. And where we took one of those and we plugged it in and we substituted it in for the other one. Okay? And then that got rid of one variable. Right? Well, 5.3, if you remember from yesterday, 5.3 is on elimination. I think elimination. I can't spell and talk at the same point, so I have to focus. Our two sections that we're doing from this chapter is just those two, and then we're going to move on to chapter 6. But elimination is where we look for opposites. Okay? So we look for something like this. Let me draw in green here below. We're going to look for 2x plus 3y equals 9. And we're going to look for a negative 2x plus 8y equals 17,000. Right? We look for opposites. Do you have opposites? And if you do, you just add those columns down. So I had opposites here. 2x minus 2x, 0x. Sweet. That's what we wanted, right? 3y plus 8y is 11y. And 9 plus 17,000 is, of course, 17,009, right? But the reason that this one is so nice is we don't have to write that thing down there, even the plus sign. So really, you're just one step away from getting, whatever number that is. I just made that up, but that's half your answer. And so we go back there, and there's your y coordinate, right? And so elimination is a lot faster in most cases, right? And then we just plug that in for the y there and solve it, okay? That was yesterday's. Today we're going to add one step of difficulty to that, but I still think that you guys can handle this no problem, all right? So let's just jump down to example 1 here. The question's pretty straightforward. It says, solve this linear system with eliminations, okay? And always the thing that you want to keep in mind is make opposites. Here's what opposites would be. 5x and negative 5x. Those make 0x. Or 2y and negative 2y. Those would make 0y. Sweet. Or how about negative 13.5x and positive 13.5x. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's the y or the x's. As long as you have the opposites, those are going to be eliminated. That's why it's called elimination method. All right? So here we go. Number 1, way up at the top there. Do you have opposites? Delaney, I'm going to call on you. I know you're kind of shy, but you're right. You do not have opposites, right? We have 7 and 5. We have 1 and 2. They're not opposites, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to get creative. We're going to have to make opposites, okay? There's generally an easier variable to pick. if I picked opposites for these, I would have to think of multiples of those. Meaning like 35x and negative 35x. Right? See how those would be opposites of each other? Now I could make them that way, but those are big numbers and I don't know, they look a little bit more frightening. So it's always generally better to do the smaller numbers. So in this case, the blue one is smaller. And so I'm going to pick that one. This is really a 1y, right? What would I want those to be in order to be opposites? I would want a 2y and a negative 2y, right? This one's already, the bottom one's already a positive. So that means I want to make this top one, I want to make that a negative 2y. Currently, it is a 1y. Everyone makes sense on why I'm doing that? Because now I have 0 y's and that's eliminated. That's the sweet part. Okay? So in order to make this one up here a negative 2, I'm going to have to multiply by negative 2. So what I'm going to do is I can't just change this one to a negative 2. I just can't change it. I have to be mathematically responsible. And so I'm going to multiply this entire top equation by negative 2. And really, I wouldn't write the dot, but really what's going to happen is I'm going to have to distribute that to all three things. Okay? And so organization is the best way to make these things easier. And so how I always organize these is whatever one I'm making the opposites, I just go over here and I rewrite two new equations. And so it looks a lot easier, just like the last one. So for example, this one's going to be on the top, it's going to be negative 14x minus 2y equals negative 4. I'm going to stop there and let you see how I got that one. I just multiplied bloop, bloop, bloop to everything. Okay? The bottom equation, did I change that one in any way, shape, or form? No. Good answer, Alex. I could hear you say that in the back there, all right? So since I didn't, that one just stays the same. Everyone see that? Okay? So David, I need your help on this one. What are we going to do now that we have the opposites? We're going to add those equations together. So I'm going to add them up. And remember, I just add the columns down. So negative 14 plus 5 is, of course, negative 9x. Negative 2y plus 2y. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted that 0y, and now I got it. And then equals negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Okay? Don't think no solution or anything in here. I still have a variable, and it's still that. Right? If this thing said 180, right, you would still divide by negative 9. So just because it says equals 0, that's still just a number. And so I have this equals 0. And so I'm going to divide by negative 9, and I get x equals the whole number, 0. That's half my answer. That's not all of it, but that's my x coordinate. Okay? Casey Clausen, I think you can handle this one. I have x, and I need to find this y over here. Where do I plug that in? Well, I could go back to any of these equations and plug it in for that one or that one. Okay? Either one. I'm going to pick that bottom blue one because that's a smaller number. All right? So if I plug this in with that x right there, it's going to be 5 times x plus 2y equals 4. X is 0, of course, right? So 5 times 0 is 0. That's nothing. And so y is going to be 2. Okay? Boom! There we go. That's the answer. I'm going to put a big box around it, put a star on it, because I'm happy. I just figured out where those two lines cross. Okay? So, recapping, the only thing different from yesterday is I had to do this little step. Right? I had to make opposites. All right? I'm going to skip down here. A or B. I'm going to give the whole class a choice. Raise your hand if you want A. Raise your hand if you want B. The people have spoken. Julius Youngberg, it's going to be letter B. All right? So, Question, do we have opposites? Nope. Can we make them? Yes. I'm looking right here, and I see those ones are what I want to make opposites. I could pick those ones, then it would be negative 15x, and 15x is what I would try to get those to be. But then I have to multiply this top number, I'd have to multiply that by 5, and I'd have to multiply this by 3, right? I'm multiplying both things. That's just a lot of distributing 6 things, right? So it's going to be a lot easier if I don't pick that one, and if I just pick I'll just erase it all. If I just pick this one, okay? So Bitis, if I got 2y at the top, I want to make this bottom one negative 2y, right? Because then they cancel out. So in order to make it negative 2y, what I have to do is I have to multiply this entire bottom equation. Oops, I'm just going to multiply by 2 because it's already a negative. But I'm going to multiply that bottom one by 2. So I'll show the underneath distributing thing, but that's what's going to happen, right? And so, like I said, I always kind of come out here and I just rewrite it so it looks like a clean, neat answer. The top equation I did not touch, so that one still stays as such. The bottom, though, is now going to be 10x minus 2y equals 46. And hopefully we can see why I did that, because now we have opposites right here in the middle. It's going to be no y's, right? So this is going to give me, if I add down, negative 3 plus 7 is 10, or excuse me, negative 3 plus 10, 7x. 0y, I'm not even going to bother writing that. And then over here is 46, basically minus 11 is 35. Okay? So hopefully you can see x is going to be 5. Okay? That's half my answer. That's my x coordinate. If I want to find out y, Gabrielle, could I just call you Gabby? Is that okay? I'm sure that's what people call you. So I'm just going to do that. Gabby, I'm going to take this 5 and I'm going to plug it back in for either that one or that one. I'm going to pick the top one because those are smaller numbers. Okay? So when I do that, I'll just rewrite it over here. It's negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 11. Right? But x is, of course, 5. So that gives me negative 15 plus 2y equals negative 11. Solving simple equations over here, I'm going to add 15. 2y is equal to 4. And so y is equal to 2. Okay? All that work, I didn't have to graph it. I just kind of got smart. I'm kind of all over the place, but if I had a sheet of paper, I would try to neatly organize those. So, all right, does that make sense to all you guys? Not too shabby, right? One step at a time. That's all you need to do. I think that I got. What do I have right here? There's some more. There's special cases. Oh, let's do that real quick. That's either no solution or IMS, right? If you get it true, it's no. The true answer is IMS. False answer is no solution. Okay. Let's just. We'll call it good. We'll call it good. Okay. Over here, I have an assignment for you. All right. And that's posted on Schoology, Day 2 elimination. Like I said before, do as many until you think you got it, because I'm not going to officially collect this. It's kind of like a standards-based grading thing. When you get to the quiz, you need to be responsible for how much you know. And if you put in the time and effort, you're going to get a much better grading. You're going to understand it more. If you didn't watch it and didn't try, well, guess what? It's probably not going to go too well for you tomorrow. Okay? So anyways, you always look, do you have opposites? If I was doing this one, I would say, hey, look, sweet, opposites right there. So I'm just going to add down. I made 0x, right? And plus y equals negative 7. There's my y. Plug it back in for one of those and find what x is, right? Do you have opposites on number 2? Nope. Maybe what I would do though is I'd get that one to be -6. Right? So what I would do is I say, all right, I need to make opposites. I'm going to multiply that thing by 6. The reason is because now I have 6x on top plus 2y equals -16. And on the bottom, I'm going to have -6x plus 24y equals -36, right? And then, lo and behold, sweet, those cancel, made it easy. Okay? Someone else might do this same problem different, but they'll get the same answer. That's the nice thing about math, is two different answers, or two different ways to get there. I picked the 6. What happens if someone's like, well, Mr. B, can't I make those 4? Sure, go for it. We're going to have to multiply this by 2. That gives me 12x plus 4y equals -32. And on the bottom, I have -x plus 4y equals -6. Does anyone see any problem there? Do I have opposites? No, I have the same. So if I were to add down, I'd have 8y, not 0y, right? So it's okay if you pick to do that one. You're just going to have to multiply by -2. So that makes that negative, that makes that negative, that makes that positive. And then now is when you get your 0y, right? So you can solve for either variable. It doesn't matter which one you pick, okay? Jillian, do you think you can handle that? Feeling good about it? All right, we're going to call it a day. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope your learning is going good and that you're taking care of yourself. Peace out.